Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. I hope you're all having a beautiful day so far. My name's Rebecca, and I was so happy when Muslim Convert Stories asked me to share my story with them. So this is my 6th Ramadan this year, alhamdulillah, and it is the first time that I've actually felt I've had the confidence to be open with my Islam. And so it's really lovely to be able to share my story with you. So here goes. So it started when I was 16 years old, and where I grew up in a area called Essex in the UK, and it wasn't very multicultural. So at the time I wasn't exposed to Islam at all. So when I left school and I got a job and went to college, I started being exposed to people from all different backgrounds and religions, and it really got me fascinated how different people live their lives. And one element that I was fascinated about and had questions about was Islam. Now, when I was first exposed to Islam back then, it wasn't the best experience for me. Like, the people that were guiding me, I wasn't ready for what they was telling me. My mind wasn't ready. It was things, may Allah bless them so much for giving their time and helping me, but it was things such as you need to cover your hair, you can't wear nail polish, you need to stop doing this, you can't go here, you can't go there. And it just blew my mind, and I just felt like I'm never going to be good enough for this religion. So I just pulled away from it. But I still had that yearning inside me. I was still searching. I knew that there was something there that I needed to find. So I looked into different religions like Christianity and Buddhism, little bit of Judaism, but I just kept being drawn back to Islam. Like, it just gravitated towards me. And one thing that really made me realise there was something there in Islam was when I went to Muslim countries like Egypt, Morocco and Turkey. They play the azan, the call to prayer, out in the street. And when I hear that and when I heard that, it just done something to me. It made me so emotional. I had my hair stuck up on my arms, and them words just penetrated me, and I couldn't ignore it. And I knew that there was something with Islam. So at the time I already knew how to pray, because in my journey of learning something I just picked up, and I learnt about the basic fundamentals like the 5 pillars of Islam, and something kept drawing me to pray. So one day I was just like, Rebecca, just pray. So I did, and it was just the most wonderful experience ever. So I cried and I cried and I hysterically cried, and I just felt that all my fears, all my worries, all my anxieties just fell off of me. And I had this feeling, and I knew that now there was something so much greater than me in control. And after that, I just knew it was Islam. Like, I just felt this overall feeling of just feeling so embraced and so looked after and cared for. And so from there I had no doubt it was Islam, but I just needed to search to find what it was about and how I was feeling the emotions, and I just knew there was something there. So at the time I was going to a kingsologist, and she's Muslim, mashallah, and I opened up to her and told her what happened and how I'm searching. And she invited me to go and meet her sheikh at a gathering that they regularly have. I was so nervous to go, but I went, and the sheikh and all the sisters, they were so lovely. Like, as soon as I went there and I spent some time, it felt like I knew them forever, the way they treated me, and like I already adopted like another big family. The love was so incredible. And what the sheikh was talking about was all the love, the mercy, the compassion in Islam. How Allah is always the same. His attributes never change. His love is always there for us. And it's only us that build up these vows in front of us, these barriers that get that distance between experiencing that love and the compassion. So after I finished at that lecture and experiencing just that, I just fell in love with the religion, and I from there doors just kept opening for me. Every time I felt like I had like a question in my head, Allah would send me a book or a lecture online, and different people just kept showing up. My local mosque, they've been wonderful, and I'm now involved in volunteering there at a women's centre called The Hive, and we help Muslim women and non-Muslim women in the community. I was exposed to a Revert centre where I went for Quran classes, and just so many different people was just turning up to help me. So that was beautiful. So moving back a little, as I said, this is my 6th Ramadan. However, the first 3 years I was practicing in secret, which was pretty tough. I didn't tell my parents or my friends, it was hard, because I would like tell my family that obviously I was fasting, and I would tell my family that I'm fasting for health benefits, and I just felt I was living a double life, basically. Like I was saying one thing but doing something else, and I just never felt settled. So like things like I would tell my just say this. So I was telling my parents I was going to the pub with my friends, when really I was going to a mosque for lectures. So after 3 years I built up the courage to tell them, and when I told my mum, she wasn't happy. First of all, she got really emotional. She was more worried about my safety, like going to mosques, wearing a hijab, and maybe getting caught up in Islamophobia, getting harmed in some way, which is understandable because there's so much of that in the media. So after I explained to her, I sat down and said, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I wanted to take my time to build my faith, to know that this is exactly what I want. And I knew that I'd get questions, so I needed to be at a level where I knew I could answer them questions confidently. And after I sat down and we spoke, she's now so on board, alhamdulillah. Like, she's understanding, and she's supportive, and she actually openly tells people like I'm Muslim. So alhamdulillah, it's the best outcome for the moment. Inshallah, in the future they may look more into Islam, and maybe even follow. That would be incredible. I'll just make dua for that, inshallah. So that kind of brings me up to today, and me being more open with my Islam. Obviously there was lots of struggles through the journey, which we all come across, but in all of our journeys that we have. But them struggles, I look back at them now, and all the struggles I have and had, they all brought me closer to Allah. They always purify me, and I can see that now. Now I've come more into the religion, and I've learnt more about life and Allah and Islam, and what this life, this dunya, is about. And it's made me be able to cope more with things that come up in life, and I look at everything at such a different light now, and I approach things differently and more positively. And yeah, so it's been such a beautiful journey, and my journey's still continuing. I've still got so much to learn. It's a lifelong journey. And recently I've just, like last week, I've just started my own YouTube channel called Rebecca's Journey. And on there I'll just be posting my experiences, like books that I'm reading, lectures, places that I'm going, like with like out in the community. So if you'd like to subscribe, then please do. And thank you so much if you've listened to all my story, and even if it inspires one person, I would be so happy. So thank you. Assalamu alaikum.